The point "embrace the struggle" is a crucial aspect of the motivational speech "Get Up and Get It Done" because it emphasizes the reality that life is not always smooth, and that's perfectly okay. In fact, it's often through struggle that the greatest growth occurs. This part of the speech invites listeners to change their perception of challenges, not as obstacles to avoid, but as opportunities for transformation. Struggles shape you into who you're meant to be. One of the central themes is that struggles are integral to personal growth. It's easy to think of struggle as something negative, but if you reflect on the growth that occurs during difficult times, you'll start to see these challenges as the building blocks of your success. Every time you face a setback, you're being forged into a stronger, more capable individual. The struggle becomes a source of personal transformation, like steel that is strengthened in the fire. Consider the example of a blacksmith working with metal. The metal is heated, hammered, and shaped under intense pressure. It is the struggle of the process that turns it into a finely crafted tool or weapon. Similarly, your struggles, whether personal, financial, emotional, or professional, serve to refine your character, sharpen your skills, and push you towards the person you're meant to become. The struggle is a sign you're pushing forward. Another important point is that struggle is often a sign that you're on the right path. If things were always easy, it might mean that you're not challenging yourself enough. When you experience struggle, it indicates that you're attempting to grow, break through your boundaries, and reach new heights. Take the example of an athlete who has a goal of running a marathon. The training process is grueling, endless miles, sore muscles, and exhaustion. However, every drop of sweat and every painful step is evidence of progress. If the athlete doesn't experience the struggle during training, they wouldn't build the strength and endurance needed to successfully finish the race. Struggling is what sharpens the skills and fortitude necessary to achieve big goals. Building resilience through adversity, struggles build resilience, which is the ability to bounce back stronger after facing adversity. Life will always throw challenges your way, whether it's the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, a failure, or even physical or mental health struggles. How you respond to these challenges determines your success. Resilience is not just about being tough in the moment. It's about using setbacks to fuel your next step forward. People who face adversity and learn from it often come out of the experience with greater confidence, deeper wisdom, and a better sense of their own capability. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, yet his resilience and determination allowed him to not only survive that struggle, but also become one of the most influential leaders of the 20th century. His story is a perfect example of how hardship can build resilience, preparing someone to lead and inspire others. Struggle makes success more rewarding. Without struggle, success would feel hollow. It's the hardships and the fight to overcome them that give success its meaning. Achieving something that's come easily doesn't evoke the same level of satisfaction as something earned through hard work and persistence. Think about how you would feel after training for a marathon or working tirelessly on a project at work. The satisfaction you feel when you cross that finish line or complete that big project is amplified by the struggle you've endured to reach that point. It's in the struggle that you discover your true strength, and when success comes, it's sweeter because you fought for it. The struggle teaches valuable lessons. Every struggle is a lesson in itself. The beauty of going through tough times is that you gain wisdom and knowledge that will serve you later. Struggles can teach you important lessons about patience, perseverance, time management, and how to approach future challenges with more clarity. Take the example of an entrepreneur starting a business. The road to success is rarely easy. You may face financial uncertainty, rejection from investors, or difficulties in scaling your business. However, with each obstacle, you learn invaluable lessons. You learn how to pivot when things don't go according to plan, how to stay focused when you're running on empty, and how to motivate your team even when everything seems uncertain. All these lessons would not be learned if the entrepreneur had not embraced the struggle. Shifting your mindset, struggle is opportunity. One of the most transformative aspects of embracing the struggle is shifting your mindset. Instead of viewing challenges as unfair or something to be avoided, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth. When you adopt this perspective, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances, and instead you become an active participant in your own evolution. For instance, let's say you're trying to lose weight, and you're faced with the struggle of sticking to a diet plan or hitting the gym regularly. Instead of viewing every failed attempt as a defeat, you begin to view it as part of the learning process. Each time you slip up, you learn something about your triggers, your motivations, and the strategies that work best for you. Eventually, you develop the skills and habits to succeed because you've embraced the struggle and learned from it. The struggle helps you build focus and clarity. When you embrace the struggle, you also sharpen your focus and clarity. The tough times force you to take a step back and reevaluate your goals and purpose. They push you to clarify what truly matters to you. In the midst of a struggle, your options become clearer and you learn to prioritize your time and energy on what will move you closer to your dreams. The struggle strips away the distractions and helps you hone in on the things that truly matter, whether that's in your career, your personal development, or your relationships. Steve Jobs, for instance, experienced personal and professional struggles throughout his career, but those struggles drove him to refine his vision for Apple. He learned to focus on innovation and design with a clarity that ultimately led to the groundbreaking products Apple is known for today. Final thoughts on embracing the struggle. In essence, embracing the struggle isn't about enjoying hardship, but about understanding its significance. Struggles aren't meant to defeat you. They're meant to elevate you. When you learn to see obstacles as opportunities for growth, you stop being intimidated by them and instead you rise above them. Every time you get knocked down, you have a chance to stand taller, stronger, and more prepared for the next challenge. Embrace the struggle because it is through the tough times that you uncover the strength to achieve greatness. Push beyond your limits. The concept of push beyond your limits is a powerful theme in the motivational speech, Get Up and Get It Done. It calls for a mindset shift where instead of accepting the limitations you believe you have, you push through them to discover your true potential. This point highlights how often we impose self-created boundaries on ourselves, whether due to fear, insecurity, or past failures, and how breaking through these limitations is a key part of achieving success. Let's break down what it means to push beyond your limits and why it's an essential part of growth. Self-perceived limits are often illusions. The first and most important thing to recognize is that many of the limits we believe we have are only in our minds. Our brains often construct boundaries based on fear, failure, and the comfort of familiarity. These are limits based on what we think we can do, not what we are actually capable of doing. This is where the power of the mind comes into play. Self-doubt and fear of failure are two of the strongest forces that keep us from reaching our true potential. But in reality, our limits are often far more flexible than we think. For example, an individual might think that they can't run a marathon because they've never run more than a few miles before. But when they start training, they discover that they're capable of running much further than they ever imagined. It's the act of pushing through the discomfort that reveals hidden reserves of strength and perseverance. The lesson here is that we are often our own biggest obstacle. The key to pushing beyond your limits is realizing that the barriers you perceive are only temporary and that with effort, determination, and time, they can be broken down. Growth happens outside of the comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when things are hard. If you want to push beyond your limits, you need to actively step outside your comfort zone and challenge yourself. The comfort zone is where you're operating within your current set of abilities. While it's comfortable, it's also a place where you stop improving. To grow, you need to find the areas where you feel discomfort or fear and use them as a compass. Discomfort is an indicator that you're on the path to growth. The more you push through those areas of discomfort, the more your boundaries expand. Elon Musk, for example, has built a fortune through companies like Tesla and SpaceX by constantly pushing beyond what others thought was possible. Whether it was the risk of starting an electric car company when no one believed in the idea, or working to send humans to Mars, each time he faced skepticism and doubt, yet he chose to push beyond what was considered impossible. Strength is built through consistency and persistence. Pushing beyond your limits isn't just about taking one big leap. It's about consistency, doing the hard things every single day, even when you don't feel like it. The cumulative effort of daily actions, even small ones, is what makes a significant impact over time. Think about someone training to be an Olympic athlete. The training is grueling, repetitive, and exhausting. But the athlete doesn't stop after one difficult practice. They understand that real improvement comes through the long, steady process of continually pushing themselves further. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether you're learning a new skill, building a business, or improving your health, small, consistent actions compound and take you far beyond your perceived limits. Take Michael Phelps, the world-renowned Olympic swimmer, as an example. His training regimen was one of the most intense in the world, with multiple practices a day. His dedication to training for years, often pushing himself through physical and mental limits, resulted in him becoming the most decorated Olympian of all time. His success didn't come from talent alone, but from pushing himself past physical and mental boundaries on a daily basis. Physical and mental limits can be extended through focused effort. When we talk about pushing beyond limits, we often think about physical limitations first, running a longer distance, lifting heavier weights, or overcoming physical exhaustion. But the key to pushing these physical limits is understanding the role of mental fortitude. It's been proven that the mind has an incredible ability to influence the body. Pain, for instance, is a subjective experience. Many of the limits we feel in our bodies are often controlled by our minds. The brain plays a huge role in interpreting signals of fatigue or discomfort. Endurance athletes, for example, report that it's not always their body that gives up first. It's their mind. Once they can shift their mindset, they often find that they can go much further than they thought. This can be seen in ultramarathon runners who consistently run distances that most would consider impossible. Their bodies are physically worn out, but their ability to push through pain and fatigue mentally allows them to keep going. David Goggins, a former Navy SEAL and ultra-endurance athlete, is known for pushing beyond his limits repeatedly. He has run ultramarathons and completed countless physical feats, despite having to overcome tremendous physical and psychological barriers. His message is clear. Pushing through mental limits is key to achieving the impossible. The power of belief and self-talk. To push beyond your limits, you need to change how you talk to yourself. Self-talk plays a powerful role in how we perceive challenges. When faced with adversity, people who believe they can't push further often stop trying before they even start. But those who shift their self-talk to an empowering, motivating message are able to break through barriers. This could mean repeating affirmations like, "I am stronger than I think," or "I can do this," when faced with a difficult situation. Your belief in yourself becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you start telling yourself that you are capable of more, you'll begin to perform beyond what you thought was possible. Muhammad Ali famously said, "I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was." His belief in his own potential pushed him beyond limits others set for him, and it drove him to become one of the greatest boxers of all time. Break free from the fear of failure. A major barrier to pushing beyond your limits is the fear of failure. Fear of failure keeps many people stuck within their comfort zones. But the truth is that failure is not only inevitable, but necessary. It's through failure that you learn the most about yourself. Thomas Edison, when asked about his failures while inventing the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." Failure isn't the end, it's simply part of the process. Every failure is a stepping stone toward pushing beyond your limits and achieving greater success. The more you embrace failure as part of the journey, the more you'll be able to push past your own boundaries. Breakthroughs happen after the breaking point. In almost every achievement, there's a moment when you feel like you've reached your limit and can't go any further. But often, it's after that breaking point that breakthroughs happen. The most significant progress comes when we push through that moment when everything feels like it's about to fall apart. Whether it's in business, sports, or personal development, many people report that their greatest successes came after they felt like they couldn't take another step. It's the moment you choose to keep going anyway that makes all the difference. Final thoughts on pushing beyond your limits. To truly achieve greatness, you must be willing to push beyond your limits, whether those limits are physical, mental, or emotional. By embracing discomfort, practicing persistence, and shifting your mindset, you unlock potential you never knew existed. The moment you step past the boundaries you've set for yourself is the moment you begin to realize the vastness of your capabilities. The truth is, you can achieve far more than you ever thought possible once you push beyond your limits. The power of consistency. The concept of the power of consistency is one of the most critical aspects of achieving long-term success and personal growth. While talent, luck, and intelligence can give a boost, it's consistent effort over time that ultimately leads to real, lasting results. Success isn't about doing something extraordinary once. It's about doing something good every day, consistently. This point in the speech, "Get up and get it done," urges people to understand the massive impact that consistent, deliberate actions have in turning dreams into reality. Let's explore what consistency truly means and why it is so powerful in every area of life. Success is built on repetition. Consistency is about doing the same thing over and over, even when you don't see immediate results. The power lies in repetition and discipline. It's in the constant showing up and putting in the effort, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant each step feels. Think about the example of someone learning a new instrument. Initially, they may struggle to play even the simplest tunes, but with consistent daily practice, they gradually improve. Over time, their skill level rises dramatically, even though the progress each day may have seemed minuscule. The cumulative effect of consistent practice is what eventually leads to mastery. This principle applies to everything in life, whether you're learning a language, building a business, training for a marathon, or improving your health. It's the consistent effort that yields extraordinary results. Success is not the result of one brilliant effort, but of many small, consistent actions that compound over time. Consistency builds momentum. Consistency is also crucial because it creates momentum. In physics, once an object is in motion, it tends to stay in motion. The same applies to your efforts. When you make consistent progress, no matter how slow it seems, you build momentum that makes future actions easier and more powerful. It creates a snowball effect where each small success fuels the next one. For example, consider someone who commits to exercising every day, even if it's just for 15 minutes. At first, it may seem like a small step, but the habit becomes ingrained. Soon, those 15 minutes grow to 30, and eventually the person finds that their energy, strength, and endurance have dramatically improved because they kept showing up every day, even in the face of challenges. They create momentum that propels them forward. This momentum is a powerful force. Once you build consistency in one area of your life, it often spills over into other areas, compounding your success and making it easier to achieve goals you once thought were out of reach. Consistency equals mastery. When you commit to something with consistency, you inevitably move toward mastery. Every effort, no matter how small, sharpens your skill set, increases your knowledge, and enhances your ability. Mastery doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent practice and continuous improvement. Consider Malcolm Gladwell's 1-0-0-0-0 hour rule, which suggests that to become truly exceptional at something, you need to practice it for around 1-0-0-0-0 hours. This doesn't mean you have to put in that much time all at once, but rather that you need to practice consistently over an extended period of time. Small, consistent efforts every day eventually lead to a level of mastery that sets you apart from others who may rely on occasional bursts of effort or natural talent alone. In this sense, consistency is not just a method of practice. It's a path to becoming an expert. Consistency ensures you keep pushing through obstacles, learning from mistakes, and refining your abilities. Eventually, your efforts will not only lead to success, but will position you as an authority in your field. 4. The compound effect of consistency. One of the most remarkable things about consistency is its power to compound over time. The compound effect refers to the exponential results that occur when consistent small actions build on one another. This principle can be applied to finances, e.g., investing a small amount regularly, fitness, e.g., exercising a little every day, or any other area of growth. A great example of this is the habit of saving money. If you commit to saving $10 a day, it might not seem like much, but over time, those small daily contributions add up. In a year, you would have saved $3,650. Over 5 years, you would have $18,250. This compounded growth can lead to a significant sum without feeling the financial strain of making one large deposit at once. The same concept applies to personal development. If you read just 10 pages of a book every day, in a year, you will have read over 3,600 pages, roughly 18 books. Consistency doesn't always lead to immediate rewards, but the long-term results are incredibly powerful. Consistency builds trust and reliability. When you show up consistently, whether it's in your work, relationships, or personal endeavors, people begin to trust you. Trust is a powerful element in both professional and personal spheres, and it's developed through reliable, consistent behavior over time. For instance, consider an employee who consistently delivers high-quality work on time. Over time, They build a reputation for being reliable and dependable. This can lead to more opportunities, promotions, and trust from colleagues and superiors. In relationships, consistency builds trust and deepens emotional bonds. When you consistently show up, keep promises, and communicate openly, others come to rely on you. In contrast, inconsistency creates doubt, confusion, and lack of confidence. If someone is always inconsistent, people around them begin to question whether they can be trusted or relied upon. Consistency cultivates a reputation that invites loyalty and respect. Consistency creates discipline. One of the most important byproducts of consistency is discipline. Consistency helps you develop the habit of sticking with your goals even when motivation wanes. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is sustainable. Discipline is what enables you to continue putting in effort even when the excitement of a new project or goal has worn off. When you consistently show up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, you develop the mental toughness required to keep going. This self-discipline translates into all areas of life. For instance, in fitness, you may not always feel motivated to work out, but if you've built the habit of showing up every day, your discipline will carry you through when your motivation falters. Discipline built through consistent action allows you to tackle long-term goals and stay committed to achieving them, no matter how difficult the process becomes. Consistency helps build habits that stick. Successful habits are the foundation of long-term progress, and consistency is what transforms actions into habits. When you commit to an action consistently, it becomes second nature. Eventually, you no longer have to force yourself to do it. It becomes part of your daily routine. Take the habit of drinking water. At first, it may require conscious effort to make sure you're drinking enough water each day, but over time, with consistent action, it becomes an automatic habit. Eventually, you don't even have to think about it. You're simply hydrated because your consistent actions have turned the behavior into a habit. This same principle applies to other habits, like exercising, reading, or maintaining productivity. Consistency, day in and day out, will help you create lasting positive habits that propel you forward toward your goals. Overcoming setbacks with consistency. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you won't face setbacks. What it means is that despite challenges and obstacles, you continue to push forward. Everyone faces difficulties along the way. What distinguishes successful people is their ability to keep going even when they face failure or moments of weakness. It's consistency that allows you to overcome those setbacks and maintain momentum. For example, Walt Disney faced bankruptcy, rejection, and failure several times before his success. He kept moving forward with his vision, and eventually he built one of the most successful entertainment empires in the world. His persistence was powered by the consistency of his belief and effort, even in the face of repeated setbacks. In the end, consistency is the engine that drives sustained success. While talent and innovation can help you get started, it's the steady, ongoing effort that keeps you moving forward and helps you make significant strides over time. Consistency is the backbone of habits, personal growth, trust, mastery, and success. Whether you're working toward a fitness goal, a career milestone, or a personal dream, consistent actions are what will get you there. Success is not built in a day, but through the accumulation of small, purposeful efforts made every single day. So, stay consistent even when progress seems slow, because consistency is the key to achieving lasting results. Overcoming self-doubt is one of the most powerful and essential components of personal growth and success. It is a natural feeling that everyone experiences at some point in their lives, but if left unchecked, self-doubt can become a significant barrier to achieving one's goals. In the motivational speech, Get Up and Get It Done, this point urges individuals to recognize and confront self-doubt head-on, to realize that it's not the truth about their abilities, but merely a product of their fears and insecurities. Overcoming self-doubt is about building a strong belief in oneself and the courage to move forward, even when you don't feel 100% certain of your abilities. Let's explore how self-doubt manifests and the steps you can take to overcome it. Self-doubt is natural, but it doesn't define you. The first and most important thing to understand is that self-doubt is completely normal. Almost every successful person has experienced it, regardless of their level of expertise, wealth, or achievement. It's a natural response to stepping outside your comfort zone, taking risks, or attempting something new. Doubt often arises when we feel uncertain about the outcome of an endeavor or feel that we might not be good enough to succeed. However, just because you experience self-doubt doesn't mean it's true. Self-doubt is a feeling, not a fact. It's It's important to recognize that these thoughts do not define your abilities or potential. In fact, they often arise when you are stretching yourself beyond your current level of competence, which is actually a good thing. Self-doubt is an indicator that you are pushing yourself to grow and step into new territory. The key is to not let it paralyze you. For example, even Maya Angelou, one of the most celebrated poets and authors of the 20th century, struggled with self-doubt. Despite her success, she often questioned her abilities and feared that her work wasn't good enough. Yet, she didn't let those feelings stop her from writing and creating. She pushed through her self-doubt, and that's why her legacy continues to inspire millions. Identify the root cause of your doubt. Often, self-doubt doesn't come from a place of reason or logic. It stems from deeper insecurities or past experiences. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is identifying where it's coming from. Is it the fear of failure? Is it based on past mistakes or criticisms you've received? Or is it a reflection of imposter syndrome, where you feel like you don't belong or haven't earned your place? By pinpointing the root cause of your self-doubt, you can begin to address it directly. If your doubt stems from the fear of failure, remind yourself that failure is a part of the process. It's not the end, but a valuable learning experience. If it's due to past negative experiences, it's important to separate your past from your present reality. Your past does not dictate your future. And if you're experiencing imposter syndrome, remember that everyone starts somewhere and nobody is perfect at the beginning. For instance, Steve Jobs faced countless moments of doubt, especially when he was ousted from Apple, the company he co-founded. He questioned whether he would ever succeed again. However, he later acknowledged that this setback allowed him to gain new perspectives and ideas, eventually leading to the creation of the groundbreaking products that would define Apple's future. His self-doubt didn't stop him. It motivated him to push forward. Challenge your negative thoughts. Self-doubt often manifests as negative self-talk. Phrases like, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, or I'll never succeed are common thoughts that arise when doubt creeps in. The key to overcoming these thoughts is to challenge them. Ask yourself, are these thoughts based on facts or assumptions? Have you tried your best and taken the necessary steps to succeed? Is there evidence to support these negative thoughts, or are they simply your fears speaking? The answer will often be that these thoughts are not grounded in reality. You can also reframe your negative thoughts by turning them into positive affirmations. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough for this, reframe it as, I may not be there yet, but I am capable of learning and growing. Instead of thinking, I'll never succeed, shift to, I will succeed by taking small, consistent steps toward my goals. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, faced rejection from multiple publishers before she found success. She doubted her abilities and even her own worth as a writer, but she chose to challenge those thoughts and kept going. Today, she is one of the most successful authors in history. Build confidence through small wins. One of the most effective ways to overcome self-doubt is to build confidence through small wins. When self-doubt starts creeping in, it can be helpful to focus on the progress you've made, no matter how small. Achieving small victories creates positive momentum and reinforces the idea that you are capable of succeeding. Start by setting small, manageable goals that you can realistically achieve. Completing these goals will give you a sense of accomplishment and help quiet the doubts in your mind. As you experience more successes, you will begin to trust yourself more and develop the confidence to take on bigger challenges. For example, a person who wants to lose weight might start by setting a goal to exercise for 20 minutes a day. As they achieve this goal, their confidence grows and they are motivated to increase the intensity or length of their workouts. Over time, these small wins add up and push out the self-doubt that may have once held them back. Surround yourself with supportive people. Another powerful way to overcome self-doubt is by surrounding yourself with supportive people who encourage and uplift you. The people you interact with play a significant role in shaping your mindset. If you surround yourself with negative, critical people, it can amplify your self-doubt. On the other hand, being around positive, motivating individuals can help you overcome your fears and boost your confidence. Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who believe in you and are willing to help you grow. Share your challenges and doubts with them, and listen to their advice and encouragement. Often, others can see your potential more clearly than you can at times, and their support will help you move past your self-doubt. For example, Oprah Winfrey has spoken about the role of her mentors and the support she received from them during her career. She faced significant personal challenges and doubts, But the encouragement from trusted figures in her life helped her overcome those fears and build the successful career she has today. Take action despite the doubt. One of the most effective ways to overcome self-doubt is to take action, even if it's imperfect action. It's easy to get stuck in a cycle of overthinking, constantly questioning whether you are good enough or ready. However, the key to breaking this cycle is to act, regardless of the doubts you feel. Action forces you to confront your doubts head on. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable of moving forward, even in the face of uncertainty. Every step you take is an affirmation that your self-doubt does not control you. As you keep moving, you'll find that your doubts slowly lose their power over time. Thomas Edison is a perfect example of someone who pushed through self-doubt by taking consistent action. Even though he faced failure after failure in his pursuit of inventing the light bulb, he didn't let his doubts hold him back. Instead, he kept experimenting, refining his ideas, and eventually succeeded. 7, and visualize success. Visualization is a powerful tool for overcoming self-doubt. By mentally picturing yourself succeeding, you can reframe your mindset and replace doubt with confidence. Visualization works by creating a mental image of achieving your goal and experiencing the emotions associated with that success. When you consistently visualize yourself overcoming challenges and reaching your objectives, you train your brain to focus on success rather than failure. This positive mindset makes it easier to take action and move past doubts because you are mentally rehearsing success. Athletes often use visualization techniques to overcome self-doubt and perform at their best. For instance, Michael Jordan is known for visualizing his successful shots before taking them. This mental preparation helped him overcome moments of self-doubt and remain focused during high-pressure situations. Final thoughts on overcoming self-doubt. Overcoming self-doubt is a continuous process, but it is also one of the most empowering steps you can take towards success. It requires recognizing that self-doubt is natural, challenging negative thoughts, and pushing through fear and uncertainty with consistent action. The more you confront and overcome self-doubt, the more confidence you will build in your abilities. Ultimately, it is your belief in yourself and your willingness to act in spite of your doubts that will determine your success. Remember, self-doubt is just a feeling, not a fact, and it does not have to control you. You are capable of far more than you realize. Get up, get it done, and prove it to yourself.